Hello everyone, my name is Bryan Paulhus and I am excited to welcome you to the Homebodies Fitness Show. Today I'd like to introduce Bryan Paulhus, a true ladies' man. He is going to be demonstrating a Buns and Guns workout. The Buns and Guns workout covers those muscle groups that cause ladies everywhere to go gaga. Later on, we will share the secret to managing prediabetes or even reversing it completely via diet and exercise. How do you feel about this Buns and Guns workout?
Well, I spent the whole winter on the couch, so I'm kind of concerned about this.
Well, it's important that we get those Buns and Guns ready for the beach, right?
Well, let's hope.
All right, so the first exercise that we're going to do is for your legs and for your glutes. We want to get those buns in such good working order that you could bounce a quarter off them with no problem. So, instead of just the regular walking lunge, we want to hold this weight right to the chest to make it a little bit more difficult. So you're taking a step and you alternate legs. Here you go.
Okay. Okay, so just forward.
Yeah, and you need to do at least 12 lunges because
Oh, no.
last time we did a show, you didn't do enough reps.
No.
Yes. Nice.
How did I sign up for this?
Make sure you stay on the carpet, mister.
Yeah, I don't want to walk out of the shot.
So Bryan is my husband, so I can tease him, and it's not quite as bad as if he was a stranger, so.
Why am my legs shaking? Am I that out of shape?
I would say so.
Okay.
After watching what you've done all winter sitting around doing nothing, I would expect nothing less. Okay, 2 more steps should do it.
Frosted Flakes.
Yeah.
Breakfast of champions.
Well, we'll save the diabetic conversation for later on. All right, you can put the weight down. So do you feel how that might get those glutes kind of toned up?
Oh, yeah.
All right, do we trust that they're getting toned, or do we have to take those pants off and check it out?
We'll keep them on.
Okay, we'll
Good choice.
Maybe save it for later on. Something to look forward to for the viewers at home. Okay, so there's this nifty little device called the Perfect Push-Up, and for some reason they make you think that if you buy this device, you have perfect push-ups. So it's like, I'm kind of like, where's the perfect chin-up, the perfect squat, the perfect mile run? I mean, that'd be great, right? Well, we're gonna see how this can help you to indeed have perfect push-ups. So I'm going to show the version that most beginners would start with on the knees, and Bryan is going to show us the full diesel version of on his feet.
Okay.
Make sure those pecs are in good working condition.
Oh, yeah.
Because every guy likes a nice set of pecs. Can't go wrong there. Nice job.
Thank you.
Let's try 3 more of those. So these handles are actually swiveling, and that puts your shoulders in a little bit of a better position to get that push-up nice and low. Tell us how you feel about using this versus normal push-ups.
Oh, it's much better. Yeah, I mean, when I did that one, the range of motion really took everything to kind of an unfixed state and had it in movement versus just locked in. So it was very nice.
Does it make it almost a little bit more fun to do them too?
Well, it's good that
That might be a little bit of a stretch.
No, it's kind of a challenge. It's kind of neat to do, but as much as anything, it gets the whole thing done quicker because you're doing a more stressful push-up each time, and it's actually better that way. Than
So if you can do 10 on there, and that's the same as 30 without it, why not just do the 10 and get it over with?
It's really quick.
Now, I know that you suffered from a little bit of a torn labrum in the past. Does that make it feel better, or does it not really help?
It's really, I can't really tell you.
So it's not a big factor there, but some people do have pain when they do regular push-ups. If you don't have these at home and you want to try, the other option you could do is think of going down to your knuckles. You do have to have strong wrists for this version, but it does take some of the pressure off your wrist and your shoulder. I have a shoulder once in a while that gives me a little bit of trouble, so sometimes I find that going on the knuckles does feel better. So that's another alternative if you don't own a set of these perfect push-ups. So we have a really, really great exercise that I don't think Bryan's ever tried before next. Now, this is called the side step up, and he thinks he's pretty fancy because he can do all this weight when he does his squats with the barbell, but this one is going to combine, and he's kind of looking at the chair.
I've never said that, though, but go ahead.
Well, so no, he does. He thinks he's, I mean, his legs are strong, but the thing is, then you gives the person a new movement they've never tried, and all of a sudden, something that seems easy might not quite be so easy anymore.
You're setting me up
So
for
that's
failure
enough
here.
talking. Let's get down right down to it
Okay.
here. So I have to show him what the heck we're doing, because I don't think he knows.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna pretend that this is a bench. I mean, you can use a chair, you can use a bench, doesn't really matter. As long as it's about knee level is good. So what you wanna do is put your foot up in the chair, and you wanna press up, and then come down like that. So you do all one leg, and then once you finish that side, you can switch to the other side. Once people get pretty good at this, I have them hold a weight. We're gonna start out without the weight. Do you wanna do left or right leg first?
Either way.
And just do the left one then.
Okay.
All right.
We can do the change the light bulb.
Now, I don't know if you guys noticed, but my knee was straight forward. His is turned out. No, that's actually fine. I want you to show them the turnout one. So there are the two different options. You just want to make sure that your knee is always tracking over your foot. So if you have the foot slightly turned out, no problem. Just make sure that the knee is over the foot. You don't want the knee pointing straight and the foot to the side. That was actually pretty good.
Thank you.
I'm impressed.
Oh, thanks.
All right, we can switch to the other side, and we'll work the other leg.
Should I just?
Do you want to use the weight?
We'll try it.
Okay.
I don't want to, but
Oh, of course
we'll
you
try
don't.
it, yeah.
I shouldn't have phrased it that way.
Yeah.
That wasn't awfully correct.
When given a choice, I don't want
Yeah.
to. Okay. Oh yeah, I can feel that.
I don't know if this chair has been safety tested for this move.
Yeah.
It's making some noises.
There's an OSHA
Maybe we'll just do
problem
one
here.
more and then cut it off because I do want him to live to see the rest of the show.
Okay.
So the importance of working legs. A lot of people want to work the muscles that are kind of like the beach body muscles, the abs, the biceps, and that's all fine and good, but you don't want to end up to the point that you end up looking like a seagull. Okay, seagulls have this big body and these little stick legs, and that's what you end up looking like if you go to the gym and you do not work your legs. Nobody likes to work their legs. It's hard. It makes you out of breath. It makes you tired. But the seagull look is really, really not in right now. So, and Bryan, you've seen people at the gym that don't work their legs. They kind of look ridiculous, don't they? It does. So like you can't always tell on your own, but like trust me, the chicks really dig the good.
Chicks?
They do. They dig the legs, the glutes. You want to work those legs and not neglect them in favor of just doing all like the abs and biceps and all of that. So that's my little spiel on why you should work your legs. Okay, so we are going to get kind of fancy on the next one. He's like, I don't.
It's getting worse.
Yeah.
Stop.
This is like the one thing I had to pick so that I felt that I got entertainment factor out of the show. We are going to do handstand push-ups. Yeah. So I do gymnastics, so it's actually pretty easy for me to do these. So I'm going to do them first, and then he gets to do them and try to not make a fool out of himself on camera. It'll be great.
I'm not getting paid for this, you know. This is all free. You're taking advantage of me. Okay, let's see it.
All right, so I'm not getting paid to be married to you, so.
Good point.
All right, so you're gonna stand there.
Okay.
Okay, so this is like we have not practiced this. This is like full out. So you're gonna hold my legs, just hold me, don't do anything more. I'm just gonna do a couple push-ups there. Okay. So just hold my legs, and then we'll switch afterwards. And let go. All right, so you can go down as deep as you can do and still get your head up. You don't have to touch your head to the floor. You get really, really strong, or you have a really strong partner that can help you get up a little bit. You can bend your arms all the way. So for today, we're just gonna have Bryan do little bends, like not, unless you feel you can do. Yeah, we don't want any accidents. So
we don't want to have big bends.
Let's try 5 of them and just go as deep as you can, and I'll give you a very light assistance.
I don't know if I can do one, but I've never done these. Okay, here we go. Ready?
So I suggest putting your hands on the floor and then kicking up.
Okay.
Because
Ready.
don't do it all at once.
I'm going to kick into you hard.
Okay, I'm getting nervous
Ready
now.
for anything? Ready? Let's do it.
Just put the hands down and kick up in 2 separate motions, like.
Okay,
Yeah.
ready?
All right, go ahead.
Oh,
Good.
am I good?
Just 5 little. Yep. Good.
Oh, yeah.
And step down, or whatever that was. Okay.
That was a plop
That
down.
was really good. You guys, he has not practiced that. That's awesome. I'm really happy that he did as well as he did. So there's a couple things. Now, if you've never tried them before, you'll probably do them like Bryan did with your back arched. That's fine for a beginner. Once you get a little bit more advanced, you want to keep your back straighter. So I'm going to do a couple more and you guys can check that out. So just go ahead and grab my legs again.
Okay.
So the tendency is to let this happen and you want to actually straighten. Even if that means you don't go as low, that's okay.
Wow.
So
It's pretty good.
that's just a little tip for you. A more modified beginner version would be to go this way. And it's similar muscles. And this one too, you want to keep your head between your arms. Don't let it stick out like that. So Bryan, could you try a couple of those for us? So the upside down. Doesn't matter how close your hands and feet are, as long as your head is between your arms. You can even bend your knees if you want to. No problem. Good. So let's do 5 of those. So that's kind of like a half handstand, which takes a little bit of the weight off the movement. Awesome job.
Thank you.
So we're going back to the buns aspect of this. We want to make sure that if he decides to wear his Speedo at the beach this summer, he's gonna look good.
Yeah.
So the glute extension. There are a lot of different ways to do this one. We are going to try a weighted glute extension with the weight on the hips and then pressing up with both legs. And what you're looking for is the person's hips to get really flat here. A lot of people will stop only here, and a lot of that has to do with tightness. So you just do your best to come up as far as possible.
Okay.
Bent legs, yep, feet flat. Knees can be either apart or together, but again, you want them over your feet. So his feet are about 6 inches apart, so I want his knees 6 inches apart too. Nice.
I hope I don't have any friends walk in on me
You
when I'm working
feeling
out.
Yeah, right.
How do you explain
this
this?
is a good one. If you're a guy, it might be kind of embarrassing to do this in public. So you really do want to stick to the home workout when you do the glute extensions.
Yeah.
Anything that has the name glute in the title is basically something that's a little bit embarrassing for a guy to be doing. So just do it in the privacy of your own home so that nobody has to know. It'll work out all the better that way. So it is time for one of Bryan's favorite movements because it uses the least amount of energy of almost any of the exercises.
Napping.
He's,
No?
I don't think so. We're not gonna nap today. How about the dumbbell bicep curl? Now, I'm gonna give him a little bit of creative license to show if he has a favorite technique on how he does his bicep curls. We only have the one dumbbell though, so that's your restriction. You can't do anything with double arm.
Okay, so what do I like to do?
What do you think gives you the best effect for your guns?
Well, I usually kind of start with it just naturally hanging. And by the time I get to this point, I like to have the elbow by the side, palm up, and rotate it.
Good. So he likes what I would call the twisting bicep curl. He just doesn't speak as eloquently as I do.
There we go.
So he's like, boop, 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 boop. And I'm sounding like I do right now, which is great.
Perfect.
Okay, so as long as we have that out of the way. Now his form is very good. He's holding himself nice and straight. Now if you're holding a weight that's a little bit heavier and you do need to do a slight lean back, that's acceptable. But you would save that for more advanced exercisers. And generally you want to keep your body nice and straight and tall. And actually one thing, I don't know if you think of this, but sometimes when I'm at the top of this, I like to think pinky toward my chest a little bit, that little twist at the top.
Yep.
Do you do that?
Yeah, kind of a
little twist.
kind of a pinch.
A pinch,
You do,
yeah.
right?
Again, the eloquent aspect.
Oh, there we
Just
go.
give him a little leeway.
Thank you.
I mean,
Full sentences.
he's trying his best. How far did you make it? 6th grade? Or
Yeah.
7th?
I had to drop out to, I don't know, there's no good joke there, so go ahead.
Okay, back to glutes here. It's going to be the one leg deadlift now. This one, I don't know that he's ever done this, and he thinks he's some big fancy gym person because he taught me a lot of what I know about working out way back in the day. We don't need to get into that whole can of worms. So you're going to be balancing on one leg. Now, on one of the previous shows, I showed you guys the version where we have the weight and the leg the same side. I'm actually gonna switch, and this is a little bit trickier where you're holding the weight on the opposite leg. So I'm gonna bend down and then try to stand up. And what's happening is this hamstring and glute is taking all of the load of the weight you're also getting a little bit of effect in your abs. This workout doesn't have an exclusive ab component to it, but a lot of what we're doing involves a lot of core stabilization and balance. So you are getting a pretty good abdominal workout in this assortment of exercises too. So you can see this leg I'm not as good with, but you're supposed to try to keep your foot off the ground if possible. You only have to go right below the kneecap. You see some people trying to touch the floor with the weight. That really isn't necessary. If you are really flexible, great. I wouldn't consider Bryan to be someone who's extremely flexible, so he's not gonna wanna go that far.
Okay.
Yeah, so opposite sides.
So I lift back this one as I do this?
Exactly. And I'm gonna suggest palm facing behind, not inward.
Okay, this way?
Just because you'll feel that it will give you a little more lat involvement in your back, and that's gonna help you to balance.
I'm already losing my balance.
He's like, I have no involvement in anything
no idea
right
what
now.
I'm doing. How did I get roped into this?
Good.
This is crazy.
So the first time, this is actually really good because what he's doing, it's a little bit of a struggle with the balance. It's gonna be exactly what happens at home the first time you're trying something like this. So it's great that we can see the realistic way it works out. You basically look like you're drunk.
Yeah, I bailed out of that.
It comes down to it. You can
Try
switch
to stay
sides.
fit.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like I said, I mean, even myself, I have trouble with it too, so it's challenging for all levels. Try to keep your working arms straight, the one with the weight.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, and we don't have
Keep
a lot.
hitting something behind
Yeah,
me.
there's a table back here. You can not worry. We'll pull it back a little bit. All right.
Okay, one more?
One more. Yeah, one more should do it. So a lot of what comes down to balance is your glutes. So every time you have to regain your balance, your glutes are firing to do that. So something like this is really tremendous for the glutes. So the final exercise here, we're gonna make sure that those triceps, so the triceps are the back of the arm. Now, a lot of people, when they think arms, they think bicep, 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 which is the front. And actually, let's look at his. So for the arm, right? So you have 2/3 of the mass of the upper arm is tricep, right? In the back. Only 1/3 of it is the front. So we want to make sure we work the back because your arm size is going to be a lot bigger when you address that tricep. So I'm going to show one of the best ways to do that with these bars. So we're going to do dips. So all you have to do is hold yourself up and then bend your arms and then push. And the depth can vary. Beginner starts out a little bit higher. If you're super fancy, you can go as deep as you really can, given your shoulder flexibility. So let's have Bryan just try 5 dips.
Okay.
Nice. So you can see these aren't too hard for him. I know sometimes you've done them weighted, right?
Yeah.
So you can either put a belt around you, and this is, again, once you get really strong, or possibly even hold a dumbbell between your feet. So those are just really good for the shoulders, for the triceps, kind of an overall upper body. So they're a really fabulous arm exercise. So I saved quite a bit of extra time so we can do some good stretching today, because I know that you don't really get a lot of that.
No.
So we are gonna just get rid of these. Now the first one is called head to knee. And head to knee kind of sounds like you're falling over or something. Actually, we're gonna do the stretch like this. So it doesn't actually mean that your head has to touch your knee, because he probably won't actually have his head touch his knee, but we're talking about the goal or the aim of the point of the exercise is to make your head go toward your knee. So we're kind of thinking optimistically when we go by the name.
This isn't going to happen, folks. Not going to happen.
Well, we'll see. You never know until you try. So
Okay.
on your back, you're going to cross one ankle over the other.
Okay.
You want to reach through and grab this thigh.
Okay.
Yep, and then you just pull. So it's a combination of head coming up and knee coming to it. And don't yank or pull. We want to be gentle here. We want you
Okay.
walking out of here in one piece. Yep. And then switch sides. So this is one of the stretches that I think works well in a pulsing fashion as opposed to holding it. So like to pulse in and out maybe 5 or 6 times, and that will be your set. Now I was trying not to show off and actually touch my head to my knee.
Yeah.
But
How kind of you.
We both know that I can do it, and it's just, so it's like a lot of times what happens is I show people the stretch and they get confused that they can't do it, but it does take a lot of years of dedicated time to be flexible, so It's like, don't expect miracles, but it will help your body. That one helps your glutes that we just worked, and that's gonna help keep those nice and limber. So that's a great one. Doesn't really matter how good you are at them, it just matters that you can try to do them. So now we have the glute on the back, and this is a really great one for your lower back. So what you wanna do here is pull your knee just across your body, your other arms to the side, and your face points that way, and just hold that. And that's gonna get a nice stretch through your back and your hips.
Okay.
So see, I gave you 2 that are laying on the floor. How nice of me.
Oh. Okay.
I'd rather probably would be on a couch, but
So
I mean,
pulling this one across?
Yep, and the other leg's flat on the floor. Flat with the other leg.
Okay,
yeah.
this leg down?
That other leg, yeah. We don't have really more than 2, but.
Oh.
Look this way. Your head should look towards that hand.
All right, there you go.
How you doing?
Oh, well, I think I might get stuck.
I mean, it could be worse, right? You could have to be standing or
And this way?
shoveling maybe.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, the other leg still isn't on the ground though.
Over here?
This one.
Oh, this one?
Yeah. I keep forgetting about that devious second leg. Just
I
doing
feel like
its own
I'm
thing.
posing. It's my Heisman pose.
Do the ballerina hands, please.
What's that?
All right, never mind. Forget
Okay.
that. Forget I even said anything. So those are the glute stretches. We're going to do bicep on the floor. So for that, putting the hands behind, bending the arms gently and looking up. So it's gonna get all in through here.
Okay.
Now, anybody that does have a history of shoulder problems, you wanna be very, very careful about pushing yourself in this stretch. You want a very, very mild stretch.
Okay. This one might give me trouble, my bad shoulder.
Just gentle bending, looking up. Gentle, and just hold.
Gentle.
He doesn't do gentle very well. He's got one gear, and that's full speed ahead.
Spastic.
Right.
Yeah.
I was trying to be diplomatic,
Yeah, well.
but okay, that's good with that. All right, and the last one is my favorite because I get to torture him, and it's payback for me. And after what, 8 years of marriage, I think I deserve that. So why don't you sit on the chair? One arm up. This is a tricep stretch. Bend your arm, and now I'm gonna yank and tug on his arm, pull it behind his head until he screams.
Do I have to do anything?
It'll be great. No, just basically tell me when you've had enough.
Oh,
Just kidding.
ready? Ah! No, I'm just
All
kidding.
right, we're gonna switch sides.
I'm just kidding.
So this one is easier, obviously, if you have someone to help you out because it's awkward to pull your own arm behind your head. I mean, let's face it, this whole workout's awkward, but this particular one is even more so. So you feel that nice stretch?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. You survived.
Thank you.
Okay, so it is time to answer the Twitter question that we got. We would like, well, let me actually take a peek at what it says. I was just told by my doctor that I am pre-diabetic. What can I do to reverse this and hopefully even prevent full-blown diabetes? So, not that Bryan has been officially diagnosed, but he's had a little bit of trouble with his blood sugar lately. So I think this is a great opportunity for us to talk about this. The first thing that you can do is look at your foods that you're eating. So what have you found helps you with food for the blood sugar stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I find that eliminating, first and foremost, a lot of the simple carbohydrates like sugar and processed flour.
Yeah.
Big deal. I was so bad at one point that I could literally schedule in after a certain meal that I'd be crashing right afterwards. And eliminating that first and foremost, I did a lot more protein throughout the day, a lot more vegetables, and it really, gave me that consistent energy throughout the day versus the crashing episodes and fatigue. So.
One thing I noticed too is you started combining protein with the carbs so that you didn't have just the carbs alone.
That's right.
Yeah, and I was starting to think that I was just boring them to death, but maybe a little bit. But the carbs, blood sugar crashing.
I'll blame it on the carbs.
Yeah, right. The other thing that really, truly helps with the pre-diabetic condition is exercise. Both cardiovascular and weight training have benefits. The cardio helps with your body to use up some of the excess glucose that gets into your bloodstream. And the weight training helps your body to utilize the food that you're eating and put it into muscle building. So those two components really make a huge difference. So any exercise that you can do is gonna help tremendously. There's another tip that I picked up, and I don't know if you've noticed this, but eating more or less when you first wake up in the morning is supposed to help. Doesn't mean the second you wake up, but the first hour or two. I've heard that it sets your blood sugar off for the day. Does
Yeah,
that?
also a little bit, I have eggs more often now with the protein mixed in there too. So it's nice to start with protein earlier.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, the breakfast is really critical, mostly for somebody with trouble with blood sugar. There's another cool little tip that I've learned. If you take about a tablespoon or two of apple cider vinegar, which you can find right at your grocery store, it's just right with the other vinegars, take that about half an hour before all of your meals, and you're gonna absorb the glucose from those meals a lot more steadily. So I don't know if you've tried that like regularly.
No.
I think you've tried it a couple times though.
well, I've had it, but I haven't really tracked my blood sugar afterwards.
Yeah, but it's like, it's $1 or $2 or whatever for this whole bottle of apple cider vinegar. It's gonna give you almost a month's worth of servings. If you're looking for something like that, certainly you need to be working alongside your doctor if you have this condition, but there's a lot you can do with your lifestyle for pre-diabetic, so it's really good to know what's possible if you just change your lifestyle. So thank you so much for watching. We'll see you all next time.